All right. Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you doing today? Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself and watch this video. So if you're curious where this comes from, we're going to combine a little bit of Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins today. I've been watching these quite a few times. I highly recommend that you do the same. So it's going to be available for free inside this group. Right now so that you can experience it for the next 30 days and then it will disappear. So it's a great time to invest in yourself while you can for free. But if it takes money for you to invest in yourself, because I know that free is oftentimes worthless and that we don't honestly value something until we invest in ourselves, that this will also be available for purchase on mastermind.com. So this is your opportunity to, again, pretend like you paid money for this, invest in this, rewatch this, get down, go through the exercises and work on trying to figure out what it is that you want to help build your dream life, how we're going to get out of this circle that just keeps repeating itself, these patterns that never seem to change in our lives, because there's a lot of times where we find ourselves stuck. There we go, trying to straighten this up behind me. All right, so oftentimes we get stuck in this whole process of trying to make plans, make goals. I don't know if you've ever been having a seizure and you're walking circles having a seizure. Honestly, it's kind of scary when you're stuck in the same circles, the same patterns, the same doubts, the same problems that we just don't understand, that we are oftentimes creating and facilitating this process where we just can't break the cycle. And there's a lot of stuff. If you've been raised with child abuse, you find that you have abuse from your friends or families or the doctors or anybody else that pops up in your life, because everybody's a human being. Everybody comes with their own problems. They come with their own skill sets. And hopefully they're in your life helping you be the best version of you. But when they're not, you have to figure out who you can reach out to, who you can talk to, what communities to join, where to find answers and help that actually empowers you to be the best that you can. It doesn't break you down, doesn't break your hopes and dreams, because if you can imagine these things, you can make them real in your life. I was listening to Tony Robbins talk about earlier, a couple of these people in some of his business platforms, business classes that he took, and to him, that he would set these goals that were totally unreachable because he just thought it was such a short amount of time. And one lady said that she wanted to make $100,000 in 8 weeks, and she won the lottery in 7 weeks and got $100,000, which is exactly $100,000. He told this story to another group of people and was like, and they decided that they were going to make $1 million and they're going to give themselves 6 months. And he just was like, the point of this wasn't to tell you that, to do the impossible, but these people, they told everybody that they already won the lottery. They made this real. They couldn't separate whether this was real for them or whether this was fantasy, because they believed it so much in their head, their body, and their heart. They felt it. They lived it before it happened, that they were able to create the success. And they didn't win the lottery the first time. They didn't win the lottery the second time, but the third time they won the lottery for $1 million. So you really got to understand just how powerful your intentions are, how powerful your mindset is, that you are oftentimes finding yourself trapped in a situation just because you need to change your mind about it. You need to change your mind about what's possible and stop letting the insanity of epilepsy, the insanity of what other people think epilepsy means to them. You got to discover this for yourself, because you are your superior doctor. You are the only one that knows who you are, what you want, and then it's your job to find out how to make it happen. But if you don't know what you want, other people will decide for you. Life will happen to you instead of for you. And this is what we're trying to do, is empower you with tools, techniques, ways that you can design and be the master of your life, that you can work through the law of attraction, which is very simply where the mind goes, the energy flows. If you're focusing on all your problems, if you're focusing on all the things that can go wrong, that's all you're going to see. If you've ever bought a car, or you've ever bought a dress or a pair of shoes or something you really wanted and you liked, And all of a sudden you start seeing the same thing everywhere. It's because this is now part of your, what we call the reticular activating system. It's now what you see because it's something that you are aware of. So a good exercise in this is done by Tony Robbins. I really like this one. He actually did this live at Funnel Hacking Live with us this year. So it was probably the first time I've seen it live, but I've actually heard it well over a dozen times. So what I want you to do right now, we're going to do this little exercise just so you know like how powerful the mind is. I got two of them for you, little exercises, so play along. So what I want you to do is take a little bit, look around your room for everything that's brown, anything that's colored brown around you right now. Just take a couple seconds, count how many things are brown in your room. So, all right. Now I want you to close your eyes and I want you to tell me how many things are red. Because, I mean, yeah, you were just looking for brown and that's really hard to realize like what was red because you weren't really looking for red. So now go ahead and look around and start looking at how many things are actually red. Because this is a difference. You'll start noticing that you didn't notice the red before because it's not what you were looking for. So you'll find that there are more red items that were there, but you didn't have the intention to see them. You weren't aware of them because you were looking for something else. So this is just a quick, easy way to understand that what you're looking for is what you're going to find. So if you're looking for problems, you're going to find problems. If you're looking for solutions, you're going to find solutions. So first thing I wanted to cover real quick as I make my screen disappear for myself, we're going to kind of share this up here with you so I can use this as notes. All right, so Tony Robbins teaches us the success mindset framework, and this is to create success for yourself with this program, starting creating momentum through 3 steps. The first thing you want to do, step 1, is ask you to get obsessed with your mission and what you're doing. So step 1, why do you want to end epilepsy? And I can't spell, so I'm dyslexic, so I'm doing my best. So bear with me when I do my writing up here. I also have reading epilepsy, so it's called language epilepsy. It's super rare, so be happy if you don't deal with this one. But all right, step 1, why do you want to end epilepsy? Why do you want epilepsy hell to be over? Why do you want to not be controlled by seizures? This is important. Why? Because you're never going to know how until you know why. First, you need to know why it is that you're doing this. I mean, do you want to be able to go to work? Do you want to be able to drive a car? Do you want to be able to have a better relationship? Do you want to be just healthier? Do you just tired of spending so much time recovering? Are you tired of feeling like crap? I mean, you got to know why. And if you don't know why, it's going to be really hard for you to go into the next step. Step 2. And let's see, we'll change colors. So we started off with black. Let's go to blue. All right. Step 2 asks you to take massive action. So take massive action. So what this means is start taking steps forward towards your goals. You can speed this up through effective execution and modeling someone else's success. So this is why you start thinking about who it is that can help you compress decades into days. So the goal here is to list who. Take massive action, list who you know that has experiences that you want to attain. So it could be me, because I'm living drug-free with epilepsy, still photosensitive. I'm not taking anything. I live naturally. This is currently just doing mind, body, spirit health. I mean, I'm even drinking a little bit of coffee today. I tried watching, playing a game on a big TV yesterday, and I realized it's still way too hard for me to do that. So my massive action is to just stay away from that. And, I have lots of mentors in my life. Throughout my life, there's been lots of people that have taught me how to do the things that I do. Starting off with Lama Lanang was the first person teaching me how to meditate, how to fall in love with myself when, I didn't have that coming from my parents. My parents treated me like crap, but my mom did actually. I asked her because I wanted to know how to drive a stick. When I was like 14, I was asking her questions. I was like, how does this stick work? How do you make this car go? How does it all work out? So same thing when you want to go learn how to drive. Some schools were offered driver's training. They're offering driver's education. They taught you how to drive and do these things. And then when they quit doing them through a lot of schools, you could still pay somebody that was going to help you learn how to drive and not be yelled at by your parents. Sometimes they expect you to be able to do, and they forget to have patience with you. So you have to have more patience with yourself than the people around you. And you need to learn people that will get you to your goals. If you want to learn how to cut hair, you got to go to school to learn how to cut hair. If you want to learn how to be an acupuncturist like I did, you got to go to school. It was a 4-year master's program after completing a couple years worth of school. And it should be a doctor's. If I was in Florida, I'd be a doctor, but politics. But I found the who's. The owner of the school was super amazing. He taught me some great stuff. Dr. Kim was an amazing human being. And I really appreciate what he was able to put onto me, along with all the other amazing teachers. There were some ups and downs with some of the teachers. Sometimes I forgot to see how awesome they were and realize that they were just human beings trying to make it through the day too. And not everybody has the tools necessary to get you to the results that you want, which is why it's your job to accept that we're all humans. We all are imperfect. We all come with flaws. I'm totally not perfect by any means, but I do my best to be happy, healthy, and wise, and share this with people, because keeping the hows to myself is selfish. If I can succeed and not tell anybody about it, that would just make me feel like an asshole. Just what it is. Like, I don't know how I can't help people. How I could just sit here and not help people. This is just my mindset. I'm obsessed with helping you succeed. So it's easy for me to figure out, what am I doing? Because I'm here to help you reach your goals, because I feel like I've reached some, and I know together as a community, teamwork makes the dream work. So if you are part of a team, part of a community, part of people building you up, if you have more who can help me be the best version of me in your life, then you're going to reach goals a lot faster. I mean, yes, you can struggle, figure it out all on your own. It took me several years to be able to be healthy enough to get on my computer. It took me basically another year to be able to maintain how to do this, how to plan this, how to do more. So it takes training. And my goal is to make it so it's not years for you to figure out how to do this, or decades, because there's still people out there struggling. You might have been struggling for a couple weeks, a month, a year. Maybe you've been struggling for 10 years, but it's time that you do more by finding the people that can help you out. So make sure you're doing a list of who you know that can help you out. So moving to step 3, let's go with some purple. All right, we got purple. Step 3 asks you to acknowledge the grace in your life. So, acknowledge the grace in your life. All right, I'm pretty sure I spelled that right. All right. And have you ever had moments in your life where you feel like you were being guided? So whether it's just like by the universe, God, just, sometimes things happen and you get to the right place and you're not even sure why. Sometimes we call this synchronicity. Sometimes we call this luck. Sometimes, people want to say things are bad luck, good luck. I mean, sometimes things just happen because you're in the right place at the right time. And that's what we believe you're doing right now. You're in the right place at the right time, trying to get answers on what you can do to end epilepsy. You know, whether the drugs work for you, whether they make your life worse, it's really up to you to decide how they make you feel. I can't tell you. I can tell you the side effects of them. I can tell you why they're labeled black box, why they're dangerous, and why most neurologists aren't going to take their own drugs, and why most primary care providers refuse to prescribe epilepsy medications is because they don't feel safe doing it because they're dangerous. So this is their own, they're obsessed with helping people find the specialists that will help facilitate better health, better mental health, better physical health, better emotional health. Their job as a general practitioner is to help you find the right people and guide you along the way. They don't always have all the answers. That's why they're specialists. You know, that's why I became an acupuncturist. I specialized in, you know, holistic care. I considered myself a general practitioner because I believed, and I still do, that having a complete understanding of how everything works gets you a lot further than forgetting about all your training. To only be so focused on one grain of sand, you're going to miss the beach. You're going to miss the ocean and the waves and everything else that exists in the world. All you can do is stare at that one grain of sand. So this is why I've spent a whole life trying to overcome my own personal problems, the child abuse, the mental, being bipolar, not having anybody else really to build me up, drug abuse, all kinds of stuff in my life. And I'm grateful personally for the ability to overcome these things. I was talking to a doctor one time in my 20s before I quit using drugs, and he asked me what kind of drugs I've done, and I did a list, and I was just told him this is just what I know the names of. And he asked me, how are you still alive? And it's right. I mean, seriously, people kill themselves doing some of this stuff. And it's like, my response was, you just don't do them all at once. Because honestly, the best way to survive things is when you're trying to experiment, you're trying to learn more, is you do things one at a time. Don't start trying to split your efforts, and understand that there's a level of grace that comes with who you are, where you want to be, and getting set up for success, getting set up for the best version of yourself. So make sure you take a moment to acknowledge this. Who are you being guided by? Other people that just show up and help you out, whether you ask for it or not. These people you need to reflect on, like, what have they been doing? How are they guiding you? How is this making you feel better, empowering you to be the best version of yourself? So this is what we're calling, Tony Robbins calls the success mindset framework. So when you do these 3 steps, they help you understand in your mind what it is that you're going to do, because where the energy flows, where the mind goes, the energy flows. So if you're putting energy into wallowing in your own misery, if you're putting energy into the grace that's there, if you're putting your energy into how do I do this, you're gonna start finding answers. If you're not getting the answers you want, you need to ask better questions. Because if you ask yourself, why am I fat? Is going to be because you eat too much. Your brain will tell you you're a fat pig because you eat too much. Like, that's just not the question you want. The question should be more like, how do I get to a weight that I'm happy with? If you're having seizures and your brain's attacking you, you would be like, why am I having seizures? The answer could be because you have epilepsy and you don't know how to take care of yourself yet. You should be asking better questions. How do I manage my epilepsy? How do I eat better? How do I sleep better? How do I feel better throughout the day? How do I find the people that I need to be able to do this? So this is a pretty cool, I'm gonna erase this real quick. If you're asking the question, why can't I drive? It's because you have epilepsy, but it's all right. You can learn to overcome these things. You can become the next best version of yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw ourselves 4 boxes. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. So I highly recommend this. Get out a piece of paper, draw yourself 4 little boxes right here. This is going to be how execution trumps knowledge every day of the week. So how do we get ourselves to execute how do we get ourselves to take action? And it starts with the success cycle. So after the success cycle, we're going to talk more about the success loop. So here in drawing this, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about potential. You know, you have potential. And now we're going to do action. We all have potential to be the best version of ourselves. We have potential to learn. We all have knowledge, which gives us more potential. And as we learn more things, these are potentials. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential. So if you know what to do, but you aren't doing it, you're wasting your efforts because it's just a good read. It's just a good listen. It's just knowledge without power. So it's powerless wisdom or powerless knowledge. But it's really hard to go through things that you don't understand. So you realize you have potential, but you're not sure what to do. So the next thing you do is we take action. And when we take action, you know, we end up with results. You know, what happens when you eat better? You start feeling better. What happens when you sleep better? Your brain heals better. You wake up a little more refreshed. You know, I mean, I know there's been plenty of times I've laid down for a nap and I've been really tired after that nap. And that was just the result of having a seizure and needing to rest. And it's not enough to just take a nap. You got to go through the processes of recovering. So if you feel like you're not getting the results you want, or you are getting the results you want, this builds certainty, or also what we call beliefs. You know, so you can be certain that if you do nothing, nothing will get better. This is just the way it is. If you put effort in and action and you get results, you know, you can put massive action. You do a lot, put a lot of time and effort into doing something and still not get the results you want. And then this leads us to believe with certainty that we can't do it. You know, and then our knowledge, our potential becomes limited. And so you see that this is kind of a vicious cycle that just kind of feeds on itself. So you draw these arrows from one box to the next, because this is the loop. You know, this is, like I said, where the focus goes, energy flows. So you got to focus on what you really want precisely and clearly. So you need to make sure knowledge, get the knowledge you need, take action, make better choices. Don't just blindly like say, all right, I did a lot of work and why is it not working for me? If it's not working for you, try something new until you get the results you want. And then when you start getting the results you want, start doing more of that, and it will build more certainty. It will build up your belief system in yourself and the process and everything along the way. So this is very important for you to be dealing with in the whole process. It's a loop. It feeds itself. It's constant in this whole process. Knowledge, potential. What can you do? What can you do differently? Who can you learn from? What actions can you take? How do you change them up? What results do you want? And oftentimes, if you know the results you want, then you got to figure out what actions you can take to get there. What knowledge, what potential you need to discover. What kind of beliefs you need to have, usually in yourself. If you don't have belief in yourself, you need to have belief that somebody else can help you get that belief in yourself, so that you're so certain that when you're doing this, you just feel it, you live it, it's part of who you are. Because it takes a long time to get certainty, to get belief, especially when you are not getting the results you want. So it's really important to go through this process and understand that this is something that you can actually change your mind about. You can change your actions, you can see better results, and you can start to believe in yourself, and then you'll be able to believe more in the people around you, and you'll start gaining more and more understanding of who you are and how to be the best version of yourself. So this is the success circle. All right.